meeting of Roane County, Tennessee is now in session. Honorable Chairman Randy Ellis presiding. God bless these United States, the great state of Tennessee, and this honorable meeting. At this time, Commissioner Jerry White will lead us in prayer. Afterwards, please remain standing for the pledge of the American flag.
Father, we thank you this evening for a beautiful day to come out, Father, to Roane County Courthouse. And Father, help make decisions to better our county. Father, I pray for Randy Ellis as he sits in the chairman's seat tonight. Father, that you'd bless him with wisdom and patience. Father, tonight I especially pray for each commissioner, Father, that you would bless them. I pray for Miss Ariel, Father, while she's in the hospital with her son Jack. Lord, I pray that you would encourage her heart. And Father, tonight I pray that you'd wrap your arms around little Jack, Father, and heal his body if it be your will. And Father, I pray for Jack Stockton and his staff that are on the streets of Roane County tonight, protecting the citizens of Roane County. Father, would you keep them out of harm's way? Bless them tonight. Father, we'll bow our unworthy heads and give you the thanks, Father, for everything you do for us. For it's in Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. If you have a cell phone, please turn it down.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, as we start our meeting tonight, too, could remember former Commissioner Todd Fink, who's lost his dad, couldn't go to the ceremony and everything because he has the COVID, so we need to keep him in our prayers.
He's in the hospital too.
Yes, he's been in the hospital a couple of weeks, so just keep him in your prayers and thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Bell.
Present.
Berry.
Here.
Brashears.
Here.
Cunningham. Here. East.
Here.
Ellis.
Here.
Gann.
Here.
Hendrickson.
Here.
Hester.
Here.
Ferguson.
Here.
Hooks.
Here.
Meadows.
Here.
Moore.
Here.
White.
Here.
And Wilson. 14 present.
Quorum being present, we'll move ahead with our meeting. We have a motion to approve the minutes of August 9, 2021 meeting. Motion by Mr. Meadows, second by Mr. Hester. Mr. Meadows.
That's bad.
Mr. Hester. No comment. Any questions or comments on the approval of minutes for August 9, 2021? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Minutes are adopted. Acceptance of committee reports and correspondence. Do I have a motion? Motion by Mr. Berry, second by Mr. Hester. Mr. Berry.
Yes, I guess report number one, Mr. Berry, are we okay with the pre-treatment now, the ammonia at the sewer plant, or are we still fighting that battle?
We are still fighting that battle. We may be fighting it for a while.
Are we in danger of being fined or anything for that?
We have been fined by the wastewater plant each month when we're out of compliance with the ammonia. But we're trying to look at a solution for that and working with various entities trying to find that solution.
Can we go back to the engineers on that?
We have studied that too and continue to study that. We're trying to find another solution. We're trying to find a solution, not another solution. We're trying to find a solution.
So, same as we were.
Yeah. Nothing's really changed.
Mr. Chairman, number three, on the tourism, you saw the letter that was written on behalf of the Tourism Committee, Commissioner Hendrickson, to TVA. I just want to share with you that the 16th at 10 a.m. at Rockwood City Hall, we will have some folks from TVA and TWRA to meet with us. So you're all are welcome. I think I sent an email to the ad hoc committee on that, but all of you are welcome to come to that meeting. And I guess, Mr. Woody, on number 5, where it says, where we're talking about an ambulance/fire hall, are we anticipating a fire hall with the ambulance station at Southampton?
No, not at Southampton.
I meant to call you back.
Okay.
I forgot to this afternoon.
No, that would be on the east end.
Okay. But the point was, is the Harriman residents really need something on toward the other side of Harriman there, because right now Riggs Chapel, Swan Pond, Most of those folks are 5 miles away from the fire hall, so.
Yeah,
so
no,
they're-
this wouldn't be a fire
Okay,
station.
very good.
I messed up first time.
That's all, Mr. Chairman.
Any more questions or comments on the acceptance of committee reports and correspondence? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. Madam Clerk, notaries.
Marco Aguero, Dakota Storm Beeler, Amber Dunn, Michaela Joy Langley, Carlene McNulty, Christopher Randall Rodens, Kimberly Susan Strickland, and Teresa Diane Young.
Motion by Commissioner Hendrickson.
I'll second.
Second by Commissioner White. Commissioner Hendrickson.
Just appreciate their willingness to serve.
I have nothing to add, sir.
Any other questions or comments on the notaries? If not, we're electing these, so please call the roll.
Bell,
Aye.
Berry,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Cunningham. Yes. East,
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hendrickson,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
and White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Notaries have been elected. This brings us to part of our agenda, it's the hearing of delegations. This is an opportunity for anyone that's present that would like to address the county commission. Please step forward and state your name and address. We ask that you keep your comments less than 3 minutes.
Hello, I'm Pam May. I wanted to introduce Tori May. She's our chamber manager. She's going to talk to you about chamber initiatives that are coming up. But I did want to remind you about the elected officials barbecue that's coming up. Which one? 29th at Kingston Riverfront Park. So please join us. We will be set up for social distancing, a lot of the same protocols we used last year, and individual containers for dinner. So we'll do as much as we possibly can to make it a safe event. Also, our board, our Roane Alliance board just voted to update the new strategic plan for the next 3 to 5 years. I've updated that, put that on our website, but I will provide you guys a copy of that for the next packet, so you guys can read it in its entirety. But and it's just a one-pager, so it's not real long, but it sets out kind of what we plan to do in the next 3 to 5 years. And it is on our website at ronealliance.org/leadership, or I'm sorry, /plans. And but I will get you guys a copy. And then I'm going to turn it over to Tori. One thing I did want you guys just to kind of warn you, I've asked the staff to attend commission meetings through the year on occasion and just report to you. She's going to report for the chamber and anything else that she wants to announce that time. But that way you guys get to know not just me, but the rest of the team. So I'll turn it over to her.
I'll be real quick. So our ambassador, we have a Roane Chamber ambassador team that works hard to help us at the Roane County Chamber of Commerce. So first event we have, they do 3 giving back events a year, and so they'll complete their next giving back event tomorrow, actually, for TCAT, some of the students that are coming back. And then we have the auto and truck shop ribbon cutting. That'll be Wednesday, September 15th at 12 o'clock p.m. That's a new business that came to Roane County. It's in Harriman. Our next Chamber Chat Coffee will be October 7th, and that's 8:30 to 10 o'clock a.m., and it will be hosted at One Bank. So we do those every month at a different business just to get in networking and meet new people and learn about the businesses here in Roane County. Then also we have our 2nd annual Jingle and Mingle Market, November 13th and 14th, and that'll be local vendors. We'll do giveaways, food trucks, holiday decorations, Christmas music, and a lot more. And then we also have our Women in Business Luncheon that is about to roll out. That's a 4-part series. Intelligent Women and Inspiring Women. It'll be September 29th at 12 o'clock p.m. That'll be in each, there'll be 4 of them, and they will go until March, and that'll be in different parts of the county. And then we are also working with Target Marketing to publish a new up-to-date full-color street map and resource guide. So if anybody's heard about that or has questions, feel free to let me know. And I just wanted to let you know real quick. So I send out a weekly newsletter, and then I also send out a monthly newsletter. So if anyone's interested, the weekly one has all the events that are going on in Roane County. And then the monthly one is just an overview of everything that we've done over the chamber in the last month. So if anybody's interested in being a part of that, we're glad to put you on the list. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to address the commission? Please step forward and state your name and address.
Hello, my name is Dale Byer, 200 Highland Way, Harriman, Tennessee. I'm the Executive Director of Roane. I have two announcements. First announcement is our third digital device donation drive during the National Digital Inclusion Week, which is October 4th to October 8th, all week long, Monday through Friday. We have several locations that are collecting digital devices, electronics, flat screen TVs, I mean, things that you want to get rid of and you don't want to dump in the dump, that would be great. It's on all the Patterson's locations during their business hours, as well as the KUMC Clothes Closet during their business hours, and as well as HUB during their business hours. So that way you can be able to have multiple locations. The second announcement is we just have a press release that is done today for you. So I'm providing an example of it. It is our new Jaeger IT internship. We got a nice grant from AT&T Foundations, and we have, just announcing this, we are going to have 3 internships that are available for students. We're targeting students that are interested in technology. One of them is Computer Networking Technology Internship, and Brad Taylor from Taylor Telecom Solutions is the mentor for that. Then we also have Desktop Support Internship. Richard Glover, who's been, is the Roane CIO, is going to be mentoring students with that. As well as we have Technical Communication Intern, and Hugh Willett, the former editor of Roane County News, is going to be mentoring students with that. Now we have 2 potential interns already, but please let your constituents know and any of your partners that you know, businesses, that these are available. The press release I just sent out has the link on it to where someone can apply for this internship. The interns get $500 stipend, okay, and also after 24 hours of service, a free brand new laptop. So nice little incentive program. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else like to address the commission? Anyone else like to address the commission? Seeing no one, we'll move to the county attorney's report. Mr. Counselor.
I have nothing to report other than we have Chancery Court on October 14th for our property maintenance cases. And anybody have any questions about anything?
Questions for the county attorney? Mr. Berry.
Mr. Leffey, was there a correspondence from the drug companies?
There was a correspondence in your packet regarding that Eifler lawsuit that the local district attorney generals filed on behalf of the county, and then it went through the appellate process, and the appeals court held that the attorney generals had no standing to file this suit on behalf of the counties. So the law firm out of Nashville that the attorney generals hired to file the suit sent all the counties an opportunity to come in place of the attorney generals at no cost or expense. Well, the trial judge ruled evidently that there was not a proper mechanism to substitute the counties for the attorney generals who originally filed the suit. The only correspondence that I have received from that law firm during this whole process is that one short email. Basically what it says is the main defendant is in bankruptcy and claims have been filed against them in the bankruptcy. And they do not recommend appealing the trial judge's ruling because the remaining defendants, evidently, according to that email, do not have assets to pay. They recommended going after some of the larger defendants with a separate lawsuit, but I've received nothing from them regarding that.
Is that There's another one with Pfizer and some of the bigger ones that other states have already collected on.
There's a suit that the state filed. I don't know that it's Pfizer. I don't remember who the defendants are, but there's a big suit that the states have filed, and Tennessee is participating in that.
And that one, I think there was some money awarded on that one.
I don't know. I don't know the answer.
So this one we're not appealing. This one is finished. It's over.
That one's over.
Thanks.
Any more questions for the county attorney? Thank you, Mr. Layfield. County executives report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to bring your attention to a couple of things, and most all of it is this American Rescue Plan. There's two people on my staff that's kind of working most of it up, and Amber, you all know Amber, she's sitting in for Ariel today. And then Lindsay Collins, so Lindsay does most of the county internal control part of it. Amber is putting together a lot of the data that you see and the emails that are going out. All the requests that we have received from organizations, and if they want to submit requests, they are funneled through Amber. And she has filed, I think we filed all of those on correspondence, either last month or this month. This month you can see on correspondence 18, 19, 20, and 21. They're from Watchbar Utility District, from the City of Rockwood, Volunteer Electric Co-op, who has a proposal of about 1,100 people for broadband. And then you had the Heritage Commission. I had met with Comcast, so VEC does south of the river with another Spectrum. Spectrum has not approached us. Comcast has. Comcast controls the remainder part of the county, I guess, under their footprint. We are expecting a proposal from them this week or next week. There was some certain requests hit the Roane County News before you all were made aware, and quite frankly, before we were made aware, which that's nothing with that. A lot of people said, I had a couple of calls, why didn't you let us know about it? And I said, well, we read it in the paper when you all read it in the paper. We had met, like I mentioned before, with our city managers and city mayors, because there is funds available from TDEC at the state to match water and sewer projects. And as we worked with the comptroller's office, they suggested that we bring some of these individuals together as we were looking at some of our long-term plans to see how they can be, our money leverage the city's ARP money with the county's ARP money, with the state's ARP money, so we can get more bang for the bucks. We also, I sent out, and it was one of our correspondence number 22, it was the email number 2 that I have, hopefully everybody's getting the emails we sent out about every 1 to 4 weeks, I guess. So that was memo number 2. Correspondence number 23 is what Amber has put together on all the projects that we have seen so far that's been requested. So if you'll study 23, you can see the grouping of everything that's come to us. We will expect to see some more this week and next week, and then we'll continue to put them together. Correspondence number 24 is an ARP update of some various information we've received from the comptroller's office and others. Correspondence number 25 shows you the schedule of our federal reporting that we have to do. So we had Lindsay to look at it. So every quarter she has to file with the feds on the status of our report. So that is her work schedule on part of that for the next 2 years. What will be in the commission under correspondence next month will be the memo I hope you all received on probably Friday. It was memo number 3 and number 4. It went out Thursday or Friday. All of this data we are now trying to put on the county website, so it keeps you from having to go back and look at it. You can go on the front page There's a tab on the right-hand side that deals with the American Rescue money. You can tab into that. You can then read the memos that we've written there. You can see the reports that we're filing. Now, it may not be totally up to date right now, but we are getting there. So we're trying to just get that information out to the commission and to the general public to let them know where we're at. One of the memos I sent out last week, and we got to thinking about this internally, is we have commissioners that were not here in 2010 when some of us were elected, and again in 14, and in 18, where we started our capital plan. It started in 2011, and it kind of, we sent that memo out to say, okay, we may have left somebody out in understanding of how the long-term planning of 2 commissions ago looked at our capital assets and how the county is trying to keep our tax rates from creeping up on us. And of course, that plan has been amended under the last two, I guess, commissions. But I want to focus and let you all remember, prior to 2010, to best of our knowledge, the past 30 years, we had borrowed money every year except maybe one or two. We had borrowed money. The county, what they were doing is they were looking at various accounts in the budgets each year, and they would total them up and go borrow money. They would get in refinancing. There was some problems across the state we had to deal with when I was at UT, of counties refinancing assets that no longer own the books, whether it be furniture, whether it be vehicles, and they were getting on some long-term financing when they refinanced. So, you know, we started looking at it. We have allowed the Public Utility Board to borrow money to do some sewer expansion that is paid not by the taxpayers, but paid by the ratepayers of the public utilities. And we have done 2 refinances, and then I misspoke at Budget Committee. We did one new indebtedness for the $10 million where we were doing Dillis Springs, and $9 million for it and $1 million for the jail expansion. So outside of that, you know, the policy of debt was we wanted to reserve our debt capacity for long-term large assets that are very expensive. And I hope this commission and the next commission and the following commission will continue with the policy is, you know, we're too big to borrow money for police cars. We're too big to borrow money for carpet and flooring. And our debt policy that has been adopted in 11 and our capital policy, they intertwine, of course. And that's where when we started, anytime we had additional money, the governor has given us additional money last year. He gave us right at $1 million last year and $500,000 this year. And then the Arp money is the one-time money, as it has been continuously stressed to us by the comptroller's office. Recognize it's one-time money. Be very cautious if you're doing something that has reoccurring expense. Not that you shouldn't invest in that asset, but you just need to be cognitive of that. So what we're trying to do, and if we can help you all in any way, if you need anything else, let us know. We're trying to get this correspondence out to you, these reports out to you, these memos out to you, because when it comes to the end of the day, you all make the decisions. It's not us. We help craft policies. You all do the appropriations, and we're just trying to keep you well aware of that part of the American Rescue Funds. There was a memo I think we sent out, or we'll send out again. The Comptroller's Office is fixing to host a 1 hour every week on Wednesday at 11 o'clock starting September the 15th, a webinar for 8 to 10 weeks. So we'll have somebody on every one of those calls, and you're welcome to join those. It comes through the TCSA. So unless there's any more questions, that's my, I guess, report on ARP. Tim Suter's here. I want him to speak on a couple of issues that we're having in the ambulance department. Tim's over the Office of Emergency Services. It's a number of divisions there, but the biggest one like we have right now is the ambulance. So I'd like to defer some of my time to Tim just to explain about how we're trying to deal with everything in Roane County regarding emergency services.
Well, thank you. Everybody's about tired of hearing about all the COVID issues and what's being slowed down because of COVID. But we are starting to see some significant slowdowns with our ambulance responses due to not really COVID, but the issues that are related to COVID. More than anything, we're seeing hospital staffing shortages. We're seeing emergency departments that are usually staffed with 9 or 10 nurses being run with 1 or 2 nurses, which is a hospital issue. It's not an EMS issue. I think early in the COVID situation in 20, the state established a reporting system that was based off the flu reporting systems of the previous year. We're given a website that we can log into, and we can see the status of any given hospital. And I apologize for the small size of this thing. I can't even really read it. You can kind of get an idea of what you're looking at. It's color coded. If everything's good at your hospital, you're in green. They monitor the facility status, the number of beds they have available in their hospitals. They monitor the number of behavioral patients that they can see in their hospital, the EMS offload times, and their ER status. There's 4 things that they monitor, and with the exception of the behavioral health stuff, everything else kind of correlates. If the hospital's full, the ER's full, and the EMS offload times get longer and longer. If you look at this sheet, even from where you're sitting, you see a lot of red. There's a whole lot of red on this, and there's a whole lot of red on this every day. So what's expected is that either me or someone on our staff or our frontline paramedics are supposed to log into this website and look at this. When we respond to you at your house and you say, I want to go to Sweetwater Hospital, we're supposed to look at this or know this information and see what status Sweetwater Hospital is in. What they're talking about when they go red, that means our ambulance can be delayed up to 2 hours to offload that patient. That means that Roane County is paying a paramedic and an EMT, taking an ambulance off the streets of Roane County to stand in that hospital with that patient while they wait to find a place to put the patient in the ER. Now, I have to say, Roane Medical's worked really hard with us. They've done a really nice job. They have been red. They have been yellow. But they do, even when they're in that red status, they work really hard to get our ambulances back in service. It's a huge circle. If our ambulances aren't in service, we can't bring them more patients. We can't take the patients that they want to discharge out of their hospital to open up a bed. They got to wait for our ambulance to get in service. They're holding us in the ER, so we can't offload our patient. We can't go upstairs to get that patient out of the bed on the floor. Then they can't move that patient in the ER that needs a bed on the floor. They can't move them up there. And it's just like, we got to move one person to move the next person to move the next person. The whole long story here is we're seeing more delays in our ambulance responses. In the last 90 days, we've had 397 times in the last 90 days where we've stood in the ER for over 60 minutes with a patient on our stretcher. Our paramedics are providing care in the hospital while they're trying to find a place. So what that means is that on some of the non-emergency doctor's appointments, we're having to cancel some of them. We're not able to take people to the doctor's offices all the time. We're having a harder time responding to our emergency calls If I've got 4 ambulances standing over at the hospital against the wall with a patient, I have nobody to send to that next call. We're working on some staffing strategies. We're working with our medical director, Roger Brooksbank, on some surge plans where we can have a single provider go stand at the hospital and take care of 3 patients and put those ambulances back in service. They're doing some pretty creative things in Knoxville. Dr. Joe Hawley is the state EMS medical director. He oversees Memphis Fire Department. They're taking patients from home to the hospital and putting them in the lobby and leaving them in the lobby. We've not got there yet. I don't want to get there. And if you call for an ambulance, you want somebody to take care of you and take you to a doctor. And it's hard for me to say that we're going to roll you into the lobby of the ER and have you sit in a chair and wait your turn. We're working hard to resolve the issues, but if you hear I had to wait a little bit longer for an ambulance than I think I should, you have to understand that, or I want you to understand, that part of our problem is we're trying to get our ambulances free as quickly as we can. But 397 times in the last 90 days, we stood in an ER for over 60 minutes with a patient on our stretcher.
What's the norm?
Less than 18.
What's the
Less than
norm?
18 minutes is the
18
national
minutes. Yeah,
standard.
so that's what
We shoot for 15.
Yeah, wow.
Now, you look at the different hospitals. We went to Roane Medical Center 1,800 times. 1,200, well, about 1,250 times, they got us out within 30 minutes. But the outliers are getting longer and longer. Last night, in a neighboring county, we had an ambulance held for 3 hours. They arrived at the hospital around 2 a.m. and they left the hospital this morning at 5:30.
Tim, all we get reimbursed is mileage, right? No time?
We don't get paid for any of the time that we're sitting there. We don't. And Joe Hawley, again, the state EMS medical director, says that our paramedics are not trained to the level that they can provide that kind of care, that long-term, ongoing care in that setting. I mean, if we were staying in the back of our ambulances with all of our equipment, we're a little more equipped, but standing in the hallway at the ER, we're not equipped.
Hey, Tim, a couple of questions. Has there been a circumstance where ambulance was unable or unavailable to respond to an emergency?
Yes, sir.
They're all tied up.
Yes, sir.
What happens in that
We
situation?
already have a pre-established Region 2, which our EMS region has a mutual aid agreement. We call it neighboring county. We periodically call for assistance. We periodically will go up to Morgan County to help them. We'll go to Loudoun County some to help them. We've been to all of our neighboring counties at some time or another. But what we're seeing now is we're not unique to this hospital issue. And all of those counties are seeing the same thing. Loudoun County staffs 3 ambulances 24/7. So if they're holding the wall in Knoxville or at Fort Loudoun Hospital, they don't have anybody to come help us. So it's not just a Roane County issue. It kind of rolls downhill with the hospital. This is a hospital issue. And again, Roane Medical is doing a good job for us. They're trying to help. They're doing some pretty creative things to try to help us. But the reality is that we don't have as much backup coming from our neighboring counties as we used to.
Let's say we have a situation where somebody just want to go out of county and you see that hospital is red. We refuse?
We are required to take you where you want to go within reason. If you tell me you want to go to Vanderbilt, you stub your toe and you want to go to Vanderbilt, we can't take you to Vanderbilt. But if you want to go to a local hospital, and that would be a Knoxville hospital, we go to all the Knoxville hospitals, Oak Ridge, Loudoun, Sweetwater, Cumberland Medical Center. We do those pretty routine. If you want to go to one of those hospitals, we're obligated to take you where you want to go. The intent of this list is for us to tell that person, you're going to have an extended wait. It's going to be, they are reported that they're really busy.
And in return, you're going to have to extend the wait.
Exactly. Our total call times, we're averaging about 68 minutes. From the time the call was received till the time our ambulance went back in service, that time has gone to an hour and 45 minutes or longer, depending on how long we hold.
About 40% over the last year. Kim, is any of this resulted in a loss of a patient or resident in Roane County?
You know, it's hard to qualify what the actual outcome is. I don't have a good answer for that. You know, the potential is absolutely there. We're delaying care, we're delaying a patient receiving a timely intervention. Our first responders do a good job, but they get there and they do what they can do. They treat patients to the level of their training, but then when they hit that ceiling of that, you know, some of the patients need more.
Well, I mean, it easily could, because if we have someone having a heart attack in a resident, we're tied up there, he's not able to get emergency help, so it's very...
You're right, it's frustrating, and I don't expect answers, but I want you to know what's going on and what some of our delays are, what some of our struggles are. We're not unique. We're seeing it all over the country. We were on 2 different calls this week, on national calls, talking about this same issue all over the country. We're doing better than a lot of folks. So, but again, you know, this all kind of ties back our deployment of our resources. We want to put our ambulances in the right locations to make quicker responses. But I just want you to understand, we have some real challenges, and it's not all COVID. The cath lab at Methodist tonight is closed. If you have a heart attack that you need a cath lab, we can't take you. We have to divert patients from Methodist because they don't have staff for their cath lab.
Tim, how are we on staffing now?
For our ambulance, we have 1 full-time opening right now, which is pretty good. We stayed pretty well staffed. But it all kind of ties back to, I just want you to know what's going on, so, because you're going to hear it. You walk on me when you hear it, so.
So you're hearing the operational side from Tim, of course you have to hear the financial side from me a little bit. You need to understand how they kind of intertwine. We've been operating an ambulance department very successfully for the last number of years. We put 2 pennies property tax in to buy ambulances, by and large. But from that, we also recognize that to have an ambulance operation that is not heavily supported with property tax, the money's made on the convalescent runs. It's not made on the emergency runs. If you had an ambulance department that all they did was emergency calls, you would have a hefty subsidy by your local governments, because your staffing, Tim and his staff does an excellent job. The ambulances stay moving, taking people to dialysis, taking them back and forth from dialysis to nursing homes to assisted living, just various places. But that's where, when you see the finances of an ambulance operation, you don't see big numbers on emergencies. I mean, you have that, but then at the same time, the emergencies, the longer you get delayed, the less frequent you can do the convalescent type runs. So that's just another twist that goes into all of this. But the ambulance employees are doing an excellent job. Tim is too. And you can see there's a whole lot of statistics and data behind decisions that they make. Tim, appreciate it. We also have Mike Beard here today. Mike may want to say a few things. He may not. He's back in the back. Mike's been in charge for a number of years of our recreation department, which includes overseeing the Riley Creek expansion, or not expansion, the rebuild, the work at Caney Creek recreation area that's going on now, and also the Roane County Park and Emery Gap and Swan Pond. Did I get them all, Mike? All 5 or 6 of them?
Did you say Emery? Yeah.
I said Emery, and also he helps us a whole lot when we're working with UT on the Tennessee River line. But Mike's here. I figured I'd give you all opportunity to have a target up there if you had any questions for Mike, or Mike, you want to share anything.
Tim told me to go a lot longer than he did. A quick word about Riley Creek Campground. The first step on the journey to an improved Riley Creek campground is to sit down with TVA and do our due diligence to see if we can arrange an agreement where making a substantial investment out there makes sense. Mr. Woody is handling those conversations with TVA and has made it clear to me that those conversations have gone as far as they can until we employ an engineering company so that they can sit down and go into some of their requirements with the people that are going to be making the conceptual design. We've gotten a proposal through Lynn's traditional bidding process. We've selected a supplier and we've gotten their proposal and it's been presented to the Sports Rec Committee. We had an important meeting coming up now in 2 weeks where a representative from this engineering company will be present to answer the questions that the Sports Rec Committee, I keep going between Ron and Ben, who've made it clear that they want to ask some more questions and get some more clarification before we proceed. So that's where we are. We are waiting for the regularly scheduled meeting of the Sports Rec Committee so that we can hopefully go one way or the other. Are we going to be able to accept this proposal and move ahead, or clearly know that this proposal is unacceptable and we need to start Lynn's process over again? But a timely reply is what we're looking for. That's all I have.
Work continues down at this County Recreation area. We've got some work in there. And hopefully we have an event scheduled with our Tennessee Riverline group.
October 23rd.
October the 23rd, where we can paddle and hike on the same event. So we hope to be able to start showcasing part of the recreation area and then let the stakeholders take a look at what we have, and you all can envision what else you want to do by that location.
We had a good visit out there on August the 24th, and guys, you wouldn't recognize the place. We've had a very generous offer from a local land developer and his skilled bulldozer driver. We have a 2-mile road system, and the first half mile of it, that's big compared to us busting through the woods the other day. And the first half mile is going to be, have gravel laid on it tomorrow. So things are changing for the good very quickly at Caney.
Donated
Yes.
time and labor and equipment.
Like I spoke with our operator at Riley Creek yesterday, her phone's ringing off the wall. People are, she has, I forget how many she said that were backed up. So that continues to be a very popular area.
We got a gem out there. It's beautiful, even though it needs work. It's a very pretty place. Thank you.
Mr. East has a question.
Mr. Woody, on the common utility over there, are there any help to them about getting water lines and stuff put in their district over there with any of this money, or have they ever?
They have made a request also. It is in our report. 2.5 million, what you said. So, I mean, it's come down, like I said last month, is you all approved the first 7 projects, which were items within the budget already. So that was like, there's not a whole lot to dispute or debate about something you've already approved 4 or 5 times the last 4 or 5 years. So that's there. We are now to the point, I think, that the decisions are going to have to be made by either a committee back to the commission or workshop or whatever. That's all up to you all. We will provide the information that you request to the best of our ability. We will supply to you everyone and all entities who have submitted requests. And then you've got to determine priorities. With that, just built. And you have one resolution in your packet. I don't know that it has to be voted on. It is the one the Comptroller's office told us to do, and that is to get a revenue loss qualified, because that makes that money available to not only ARP related eligibility, but things that the comptroller's office recognizes that is in our budget, that if we use it for things that we don't have to raise taxes, and if we don't use it, we may have to raise taxes for. So the comptroller's office, everyone is advised, get all your money unrestricted if you can. You see your first revenue loss, $779,000. We will get that 2 more times. So if we plan right, you all have unrestricted about $2.1 million that you can then look at your capital budgets, and you can look at the ambulance operations and see if we can make some improvements in government services without the restrictions of being in the ARP money.
That's not additional 2.21, that's just unrestricted 2.21.
That's not additional.
And take that out of our.
Yeah, so you got $10 million. You've all already released about 1.5, because, you know, when we looked at our capital budgets, we had $1 million set aside for Riley Creek. That was coming out of money that, you know, was tax money in one sense. And you said, hey, I think it's a wise decision you all made. You said, let's make it the ARP. Well, then you still have that $1 million over there that you can invest in other resources or services in your county. What we hope it will do, and with the comptroller's office working, we hope that will prohibit us from having tax increases to do things that we knew we have to. You know, every 15 or 20 years we have to put a roof somewhere, you know, and we have to have that money available. You know, you look at your parking lot out here, it's time to repave it and rejuice it up.
I've got Mr. Gann and I got Mr. Berry. Mr. Gann.
Yeah, Tim, if I can ask you another question, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but if a call comes in to the 911, and I ask you this so you can explain to me how it may even work, because I don't fully know. Say if you have someone calls 911 for an ambulance assistant, is that dispatcher, do they let that person know that we can have up an hour delay? Or are they aware, is the 911 dispatcher aware of the delay that, you know, they may be, your team may be having, or ambulances may be having due to this situation, so that those individuals have another option, or may have another option to be able to get their family to the hospital?
They have access to that same status board that's put up by the state and maintained by the hospital systems. They have a working knowledge of, they know where the ambulances are all the time. They know if they're going to a hospital, they know the status of that hospital, and they're pretty familiar with, they know about how long it should take. Our crews are supposed to, if they've got an extended wall time, our crews are supposed to communicate that back to the dispatcher. Now, if a call comes in and all 4 of our ambulances are tied up on call, that dispatcher automatically starts calling. If it's on this end of the county, they'll call Anderson County, or down here they'll call Loudon, or they'll call the most appropriate, closest other resource to get somebody coming. The first responders that go out on the call may be told over the radio, we're trying to find a mutual aid ambulance. Your ambulance is coming from wherever they're coming from. And that gives that first responder the knowledge that they may be there a little while before they get an ambulance.
So right now, none of our residents are having to just put their family in a car and take them to a...
I have heard stories that people will put their family, that happens all the time anyway. We'll have an ambulance on the way and we'll get a call back. No, they put them in a car and take them. So that happens periodically, and I don't know that it's happening any more right now than it was before.
Thank you, Tim. We appreciate it. I don't think there's anybody here that envies your job, but if there's anything we can do, I mean, me and I'm sure all the other commissioners would commit to helping you, especially with the people in our district. If they start having a problem, we can try to help explain this to them and show them the reality and try to encourage them for being patient.
You know, I think our staff is doing everything they can. We don't have folks dragging their feet trying to get out of hospitals. They're doing everything they can. they don't want those calls to go unanswered. They don't want delays. They feel bad when there are delays. And we monitor all this stuff. We know, we know when there are calls that are missed. We know when we're delayed. And we try to staff accordingly. There have been a couple of days already, we've added a 5th truck for a period of time when we knew we had a high volume. The emergency volume is very hard to predict. The non-emergency stuff, we know. My father-in-law goes to dialysis 3 times a week by ambulance. So we know that call's out there Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings. We know he needs a ride home after his dialysis treatment. And we have those calls that we know. We can kind of staff for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But the emergency stuff is, we look at historical stuff and we try to plan. And we know that, when the sun's out and it's bright, people are doing fun things and they don't get sick or hurt. And there are ebbs and flows of it all that we can kind of predict, but overall, the emergency stuff is, you just never know.
Thank you, Dan.
Mr. Berry.
Good job.
Mr. Wood, you mentioned the loss of revenue, and you said there might be two more Chuck coming?
Yeah, it's based on each year. So the projections are the number will rise the next 2 years.
The formula.
Based on the formula.
And we've got it actually a project 8. Should that be a project?
Well, we wanted to keep it in a project number sequence so we can track everything.
Because it might tend to get confusing in the 772,000 being additional money.
Yeah, and you said confusing. All this is going to be very confusing as we go forward. So we're going to try to make it as understandable as possible, but you're going to have to stay on board because I asked Amber, it gets kind of confusing for us.
That money is
700 anyway.
We can use that money for we can use it for roads.
So what we hope to do, and this is what we've been debating, is we have a sub-fund like the memo I sent out, it's ARP. What we're thinking, we're going to set us up a NRP, which would be the non-restricted. We'll take it out of the $10 million balance sheet and transfer it over there, so you'll know at any point in time, given time, how much still needs to qualify for the rescue money and how much now is available that is not restricted. So that's kind of our thought process. We've been thinking about that, and there's some advantages and disadvantages going both ways.
So basically, Treasury's just giving us a mechanism of opening up non-restricted monies that they weren't going to do to begin with by this loss of revenue, and the counties that have millions of loss of revenue are the ones that are really
some counties across the nation unrestricted all their money.
So,
they had revenue lost and unrestricted. Tennessee was not in that. The only reason we are getting some loss of revenue is the formula had us on a 4% growth factor. We have not seen a 4% growth on aggregate money. We have $110 million budget, and we haven't seen a 4% growth factor on that. Basically, the operational part, which is $100 million.
One other question I had was on our Westar. Are we going to have to repay any of those grant funds that we got from Westar?
Westcare.
I'm sorry.
Let's hope not. So Westcare was the drug grant, the federal drug grant that went through the agreement with the judge, the DA, public defender, and some others, and that was given back. So I think the amount of that grant that we will never receive nor spend was $800,000 maybe. But over the years, a couple of $100,000 has been spent. We hope we don't have to give any of that back.
Thank you.
There's no other questions. We're going to try to move forward in the agenda. Does he have anything else, Mr. Woody?
I do not.
Next item was right quick, I wanted to announce at the school board's request, I've got a notice that September the 20th at 7 o'clock at the Harriman High School Auditorium will be a joint meeting with the school board and county commission. This was at the request of the school board. I think we all know what that's about.
And Mr. Chairman, there's another meeting coming up too. The county commissioners regional meeting is next Thursday at 6 o'clock in Knoxville at the Historical Museum on Gay Street. So you're all welcome for that.
All right, move ahead to special order. First, when we have confirmation approval of reappointment of the following individuals to Roane County Planning Commission, terms expire October 31st, 2025. Alan Williams, Randy Scarborough, and Michael Parkinson. Motion by Hester, second by Meadows. Mr. Hester.
No comment, sir.
Mr. Meadows.
Nothing to add.
Any other questions or comments from the commission? Not Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dale. Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers. Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Confirmation reappointments approved. Zoning resolutions, Resolution 92101Z, a resolution of Roane County Planning Commission recommending action by the Roane County Legislative Commission on a resolution amending the Roane County zoning map as requested by Idle Oaks Partnership, Hall, Powell, and rezone map 087, parcel 043-01, from R1 low density residential to A2 development agriculture at 110 White Oak Lane, Kingston, Tennessee 37763. Motion by Mr. Hooks.
Second.
Second by Mr. White. Mr. Hooks.
I think it was explained well in the public comments, so I don't have anything.
Mr. White.
I have nothing to add.
Any other questions or comments on Resolution 092101Z? Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Dale. Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East. Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Resolution 92101Z is adopted. Resolution 92102Z, a resolution of Roane County Planning Commission recommend action by the Roane County Legislative Commission on a resolution amending the Roane County zoning map with request of Melinda Mays to rezone map 059F, parcel 017-00 from A2 to development agriculture to C2 highway commercial at Oak Drive, Kingston, Tennessee. Motion by Mr. Barry, second by Mr. Ferguson. Mr. Barry.
Yeah, this was before the planning commission. I don't think they had but maybe one or two comments. And I think we should go for no problems, no nothing with it, so I recommend approval.
Mr. Ferguson.
Oh, I'm on the planning commission, we approved it, so everything's fine.
Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Dale. Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson. Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Resolution 92102Z is adopted. Resolution 92103Z, a resolution of Roane County Planning Commission recommending action by the Roane County Legislative Commission on a resolution amending the Roane County zoning map as requested by Idle Oaks Partnership, Hal Paul, to rezone map 077, parcel 010-01 from R1 low density residential to A2 developing agriculture, River Road, Kingston, Tennessee. Motion by Mr. Berry, second by Mr. Gann. Mr. Berry.
Yes, I was at that planning commission meeting. Those gentlemen were here and approved again as well. And no problems with that as well.
Mr. Gann.
Nothing further.
Any other questions or comments? Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Dale. Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers. Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hickman. Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yeah.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Resolution 92103Z is adopted. Moving ahead to new business, before we take up this item here, I'd like to take a moment of privilege and thank each and every one of the commissioners for letting me serve as your chairman for the past 3 years. I've enjoyed it. I thank you for your support. And I also thank the citizens of the 2nd District for putting me here to serve in that position. Resolution 92101, a resolution electing chairman of the Roane County Commission and setting compensation for chairman. So Mr. Meadows.
I nominate Mr. Stanley Moore.
We got a nomination of Stanley Moore. We don't need a second. Do we have any other nominations?
Move nomination, Caesar.
Mr. Berry moves nomination cease, elect Mr. Moore by acclamation, correct? Do I have a second for that? Second. Second by Mr. Hester. Mr. Berry, do you have anything?
No, I just think he'd make a fight. He's been on here long enough to know his way around.
Mr. Hester,
He'll lead us well.
Mr. Hester, you have no comment. Any more questions or comments? Call the roll, please.
About right.
Dale.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yeah.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yeah, I'll go.
Thank you, Brad.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Resolution 92101 is adopted. We're going to take a brief 5-minute recess for Mr. Moore to get settled.
You did it.
Right. Let's call the meeting back to order, please. All right. Resolution 09-21-02. County Commission for Roane County, Tennessee, resolution electing a chairman, pro tempore of Roane County Commissioners, and setting compensation for chairman pro tem. Whereas Tennessee Code annotated requires the Board of Commissioners elect the chairman pro tem and fix compensation for said chairman pro tem.
I'd like to nominate Harold Meadows.
Second, if you need a second.
You got the second, who made the first?
Bill needs to go.
Got too many of them.
Move we cease nominations.
Sounds good. All right, get it. Motion by Hendrickson. Second. Second. All right. Any discussion on it? I'd say you pretty well got what you know, right?
Yeah.
All right, we'll call the roll.
Bell.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
I want to remind Darrell that this is not City of Rockwood water.
I understand. That's been pointed out to me several times.
Motion carried. All right. Let's tear into another one here. Got a little rough. Okay, 09-21-03. County Commission, Roane County, resolution setting a regular meeting date of the Roane County Legislative Body. Whereas Tennessee Code annotated 5-5-04 requires the Board of Commissioners set a regular meeting date and place.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we have our meeting the second Monday of each month at 7 o'clock here at the Roane County Courthouse. If it falls on a holiday, it'll be the third Monday.
Second.
I'd like to propose a different time. Can we look at 1800 instead of 1900? Or 6 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock?
We to change mine.
Yeah, you asked me to amend the motion.
Amend that motion to make it at 6 o'clock instead of 7
I'll
o'clock.
change it to 6, but that way you don't have to go through any more motions.
Good. Give me a
I'll
break
make
today.
I'll make it 6 o'clock instead of that.
Second.
Okay, motion made, second for 6 o'clock. Any discussion?
Well, now, how come you said you can't make 6 o'clock? I mean,
Any discussion?
Work at 5:30, 25 miles, 6 o'clock.
6:30.
Put it at 7.
Be here 6:30?
Make it 6:30.
But I don't want to inconvenience
You
him,
got a
but
planning commission, though, you won't make it left that bit. Should be 5:30 on that.
for what, the zone?
Where we at? What we got?
Right now, we got 6:30, 6 o'clock.
Yeah, but I don't want to inconvenience people that can't be here either, so I mean, and I'm probably being selfish, I'm looking at going to bed at 8:30 because I get up at 4. So, all right, I'll withdraw. It's going to be an issue where people can't attend it.
We'll go back to the regular 7 o'clock.
We'll just go back to the same motion we had to start with?
Yes.
Any further discussion on that? Motion been made? Second?
Second.
Do it at 7 o'clock, correct? Any more discussion? Ready to vote? Call roll.
Bell.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Shears.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Motion carried. Okay, 09-2104. Resolution adopting rules and procedures for the Roane County Board of Commissioners. It's necessary to adopt the rules and procedures to govern the meetings of the Roane County Board of Commissioners and all committees thereof.
So moved. Second.
Motion made, second. Anybody have any discussion?
I think they pretty much speak for themselves.
Is it Robert's Rules of Order, is that what we're reading?
Yes.
I didn't read out loud, but that's usually what it says, isn't it? Okay. No further discussion? Call the roll on it.
Bell.
Aye.
Barry.
Aye.
Shears.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Okay. Motion carried. All right, let's see, resolution electing committee on committee. Whereas it's necessary to elect a committee on committee, be it therefore resolved that the following persons are elected to the committee on committee. That will be, Hester, Bell, Ferguson, Barry, East.
Motion. Second.
All in favor? Any questions? Question, I'll call the roll.
Bell.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Shears.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Motion carried. Okay, resolution 09, I think that's 20, got the whole punched out in it. 06, County Commission, resolution electing membership of the Budget Committee. Whereas it's necessary to elect a membership of the Budget Committee. Be it therefore resolved that the following persons are elected to the Budget Committee. Commissioner Mike Hooks, Commissioner Ben Wilson, Commissioner Darrell Meadows, Commissioner Ben Gann.
Make a motion. Second.
It's made and second. All right, motion made and second. Any discussion? Vote on the motion. Call the roll.
Dale.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Bashir.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
Okay, go to 09. Carried that, didn't we? I have to use that little thing. Resolution 09-2101. The resolution,
07.
is that what that said? Okay. Thank you. In the County Commission, Roane County, Tennessee, resolution placing in surplus certain county vehicles listed on the attached sheet dated August 27th, entitled surplus vehicle.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion? Call roll.
Dale.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Bashir. Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hendrickson.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
14 yes.
See what the bill we got here. Motion carried. We'll just do the 2101. I've got everything stacked up in front of me here. 09?
No. Wait.
That's right.
You're right.
Yeah. 09-21-10.
08, so.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
092108.
Covered it up. Sorry about that. Bear with me, folks. You know, old man here or whatever. Got too much stuff to worry with at one time. We'll get there. As long as we get to the end, okay? All right, we'll try 09.
We just gotta get Shannon in bed. We just gotta get Shannon in bed.
We'll get you out of here soon. 09-01-08, a resolution authorized the county executive to execute a 3-year agreement with Thompson Reuters West Publishing Corporation for the Sheriff's Department.
Motion approved.
Second.
All right. Motion made and seconded. Ain't got any discussion?
Looks like they've been using them before, and they like the service, so no reason not to continue.
Anything further?
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Woody, is there a cost with that? This doesn't have any cost.
Yeah, this does have a cost with it, doesn't it? This, Lynn, this is the Thompson Reuters West Publishing Corporation for the Sheriff's Department. There is a cost associated with that.
I don't know it exactly, but it's like $1,200 a year or something.
Yeah. You don't have much option, and it's almost, I think this one is legally required that we make it available to our inmate population, isn't it?
That's correct. You either have to have a library for them to go to, or you can have something online.
So it's been to the budget committee.
Yes, it has been the budget committee, and the money is budgeted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Anything further? Motion made and seconded. Any further questions? Call the roll on it. Madam Clerk? Here's our way, got it?
Yes.
Dale.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Bashirs.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East. Ellis. Gann,
Yes.
Hendrickson, Esther,
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Motion carried. That's too much stuff now, Okay, resolution 09-2110. A resolution authorizing the county executive to apply for an in-bridge fueling future safe community first responder grant. The Roane County.
We skipped one.
Go back.
Already left that one too quickly. Oh, it's somewhere here. Didn't we just have that?
No.
There's 10.
It's going to authorize him to join the Civic Buying Group.
Give me one other, man. I think that'd be a good job. Okay, resolution 09-2109, resolution authorizing the county executive to execute necessary paperwork to join the Civic Buying Group.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'll yield to Mr. Woody.
So this one is, we were ready to purchase to the budget committee, but we didn't, because it's a purchasing one. The one prior was a purchasing one too. So they're dealing with contracts. Lynn is here if you need any more information. We joined various cooperatives, so the contracts are already out there and they're approved by the comptroller's office that we can join this. And this is the one for the stretchers on the ambulances. So Tim can address it or Lynn can address it. It allows us to purchase stretchers and monitors by and large, medical equipment.
Nothing further, sir.
Any further questions? Call roll on.
Bell,
Aye.
Barry,
Yes.
Bashir,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
East,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
I will promise you the next time, but I'm not, that is sitting on it. All right. Motion carried. Let's see here. Okay, 09-2110, resolution authorizing county executive to apply Enbridge Fueling Futures Safe Community First Responder Grant for Roane County Emergency Management.
Make a motion.
Second.
Any further questions?
This was approved by budget committee. No money, no match.
Madam Clerk, on call roll.
Bell,
Aye.
Barry,
Yes.
Bashir,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
East, Ellis,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes.
and White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Yeah. I've got a, here to be. we'll get that one in a minute. I've got one here, I've got to waive the 12-day rule on, but we'll wait till we get through this, and it's okay. Okay, 09-2111, resolution to appropriate funds, general capital project fund, 171-IND, purchase streetlight for Roane Regional Business and Technology Park, to amend the original budget to reflect resolution 03-21-09.
So moved.
Okay. Motion made and second. Further comment?
This has been before the Budget Committee, and this money is coming out of the sales of property. And I'll yield to Mr. Wood if he has any further comments.
Yeah, really the thing, look at the far right-hand side, there's 20,000 coming back from the industrial board. There's 147,000 coming through a state grant. We are appropriating a total of $300,000. The amount of money that the county's appropriating is from previous land sales at the industrial park. And it is for streetlights.
You know, 17 poles, Ron, just curious, is it metal or wood?
I think they're metal, aren't they? I think so.
Oh, I got 180 I'd say is at that price.
Now, we're not just getting lights, we're getting all the wiring too. You know?
Well, it said poles estimated 90,000. So.
Conflict of
That's a
interest.
good vote.
No further questions, sir.
Those aren't coming from RU, are they?
No, I've got that many in my yard.
Okay. Any further questions? Okay. We'll call roll.
Bell.
Aye.
Barry.
Yes.
Bashir.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks.
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Motion carried. You got one before the 12-day rule yet? We got one more motion before the 12 days.
Got two more agendas.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I said 12, it's marked.
13.
Marked through here, okay, I got it. Okay. 09-2112. Resolution to amend general fund and the general capital project fund 171 courthouse jail maintenance CHJ for the non-federal procurement on the jail HVAC system.
Make a motion.
Motion made and second. Have any comment?
This has been through Budget Committee also.
Mr. Woody, this is in addition to the heat and air units we got $200,000
That is correct.
Thank you.
There's restricted money comes into the general fund, and this is restricted money that came into the general fund last year that we're appropriating and taking out of the restricted account, but put it into the capital, so we'll spend it on this HVAC system. This restricted money is only for a courthouse or jail capital expenditure.
Anything further? You guys studying on that? We good? All right. Carolyn? Carolyn? Okay. Hey, if you don't know what to do, you gotta have a good time, right? Okay? I know the general gist of it, okay? All right, you wanna call the roll?
Bell.
Aye.
Barry,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows.
Yes.
Moore,
Yeah,
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
should have been stopping on 13 of them. Bad luck, ain't it? Okay, 09-2113.
They are.
This is what we're listing as project number 8 on the ARPA funds. This is the revenue loss. We put it on this so we can track, how much money is available for ARP money.
Does this need to be voted on?
Let's go ahead and do it, just to make our motion for the approval.
Is that 400 or?
All right, so it's for discussion now, Ron. So the settlement, have we reflected any more, or is this a reflection of lost revenue from the state inmates as well? Because that was 860, was it not?
Yeah, it is part of it. It is the aggregate revenue across all of our general type funds, which includes the schools. So we lost money in the general fund. We lost, but some of our money in the general fund was up. But by and large, what we had to do is we shifted money last year from capital to the general fund, so it really didn't show that there was a loss there. So it was kind of complicated. What we had to do is we were the guinea pigs in the state, I guess. We worked with the Comptroller's Office and CTAS. They had come up with the formulas, and we were the first one out the gate. So they looked at all of our revenue. CTAS ran it. The Comptroller's Office approved it, but it was aggregate revenue. And really the only reason that we became eligible is because of the 4% growth factor. Because other than that, our sales tax was out the roof last year, and it basically wiped it off. The problem was sales tax went to education, some of it went to and when you put the 4% growth on the BEP, for instance, which is about $30 million, and the BEP didn't grow maybe, but once they did it all together, the $100 million, this is where it shook out the roof.
And that's throughout the 17, 18 checking accounts or the funds?
Yeah, it's through all those 20 funds that we have.
Okay. No further questions?
We actually lost in the roads, did we have lost revenue in the roads?
We had a little lost revenue in the roads. It wasn't significant there.
Before the feds put this formula out, you couldn't just use the lost revenue in the roads.
Yeah.
It had to be a cumulative loss, and therefore your explanation is good.
Anything further?
So all we're doing here is just setting this up as a project number 8, keeping in mind that there's nothing, no expenditures, nothing there. It's just $772,000 is going to be in a separate account from our $6 million to $6.1 million.
That's probably what we'll do in the resolution next month.
Okay. Thank you.
That just makes the next number, right?
It's not additional money, it comes off of our others, but it's just non-restricted.
That's to track it, so I understand.
Yeah, it's really this is a tracking mechanism. That's a good point.
Okay. All right, anything further? Madam Clerk?
Bell,
Aye.
Barry,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
East,
Yes.
Ellis,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Hester,
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes?
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Carried. Okay, we got a 12-day rule.
I move we waive the 12-day rule.
Second.
Very good. Too quick for me, guys. All right. Takes me a little while on this. All right, any further discussion on it? Okay, Madam Clerk?
Bell, Barry.
Yes.
Rushiers.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East.
Yes.
Ellis.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Hester.
Yes.
Ferguson.
Yes.
Hooks. Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes?
And White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Okay. That's the end of that business. I have
Need a vote on
Resolution, that resolution now.
we just,
That we just waived.
okay, sorry about that.
You're good.
Excuse me, that.
You're good.
All right. Any further comment on that? Ready to call the roll? You vote on?
No, we need a motion on the resolution.
Oh, we just
as-
made, all right, sorry
We just
about
did the
that.
12 day.
Yeah, we,
You're good.
so we need a motion on the
Resolution.
Gotta read it.
resolution.
Make a motion.
We need to read that resolution. We don't have
Thank y'all
mine.
kindly.
We need to read the resolution. We
Any
don't have
further
mine.
questions? Didn't call the roll.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, the resolution.
Oh, we hadn't read the
No.
resolution? Oh, we just read it. I may have got rid of it by now.
I got it up here if you want me to read it.
Okay, right here. I just got 3 pages, got 3 piles of stuff.
Interesting.
Thank you very much. Not your fault, Randy, it's mine. Okay, resolution authorizing the county executive to purchase property for an ambulance station located in Harriman as approved by ARP Resolution 0821-ARP05. Station located in Harriman, approved by ARP.
We don't got a motion, second.
Y'all got a motion in a second.
I don't know, I just double up, you know, make, okay, y'all too quick for me.
We didn't have a motion, second.
I made the motion, he seconded.
Everybody good? We just make it same, people make
I'll make
it.
the motion.
All right, any further discussion?
Yeah, so what's the cost of it? That's 190?
Yes.
Basically,
Two lots in a building.
So basically, we're taking a 190 off of the 700 that the resolution approved.
That's correct.
That is,
That's what,
Yes.
it's a building that is,
And as I understand it, it's pretty much ready to go, Tim, for your ambulance station?
It is. It's a really good location for us. It's a lot of good access, and it helps us with our deployment plan. We've got 2 ambulances that are currently located at the Midtown Station. Our plan through the initial resolution that was approved for the money, will be moving Medic 2 back into Harriman. We were in Harriman once before. Because of COVID, we had to move them out of the fire hall. We put them in a station with the highway department and another EMS crew. So we solved Harriman's problems and created our own problems. We're trying to resolve that again by moving this crew back toward Harriman.
Do you see any additional funds needed to get this one ready to go to work?
There will be some additional funds. The garage door it's wide enough, it's just not tall enough. But the way the building is put together, it'll be a pretty easy fix. There'll be some metal work to do. There's some minor roof repair, very minor, some replacing of some screws on the roof that we talked about with the owner initially. The parking lot is going to need a little bit of attention, and we've got some access. There are some questions about the access. There's 2 accesses to the property. One comes off of the side street, one pulls straight out onto the woods. That'll have to be addressed, but that will be pretty insignificant cost.
So do we need to amend the 190,000 to add?
no, what had happened that we were unaware of is that the money's appropriated so we can go out and spend. I should have known this, is the commission has to vote, and council, correct me if I'm wrong, for the map and parcel. So there's 2 pieces of property here that are side by side by the same owner. This is the structure. You all are voting to say, yep, that's okay. That piece of property is.
So if this comes out to be $300,000, then it would be 300,000 of the 700.
Yeah, that's correct.
How many square feet?
I don't know, I was asked to help look at it, and it is a pretty good, huge lot. Most of you, I guess, have been around there. Mr. Ellis, you want to?
It's a good lot, it's got really good access to the 4-lane there. And a lot of people might say, well, it's not that far from the Midtown. But if you're coming from Midtown, Harriman's been without an ambulance how long now? Without one located in the city?
That one in over a year now.
Okay, so, you know, it's so many miles from the home base, but if you're having a heart attack, that extra 3 miles is gonna make a big difference. And you're also coming, you have to run emergency traffic through Wilton Road, it's kind of curvy around through there. But this lot, Mr. Chairman, I think you've looked at this lot too. It's right access to the 4-lane, and it's just straight shot to downtown Harriman, take left or right and go either which way.
We do have 2 ambulances currently stationed at Harriman, or at Midtown. The plan is to move one of those ambulances to the Harriman station. The other ambulance that's in that building will go east, so it won't be, it was I think 3.8 miles from the Midtown office, but when we complete this project, all of our ambulances will be spread out across the county. What we're trying to do is get to that 8-minute response time to pretty much everywhere in the county. And this just helps us.
This being in my district, along with Mr. Ferguson and Mr. Hendricks's district, we hear a lot of times about when we're going to get an ambulance back. And I think this will help the response time in the city of Harriman.
It's a good building, I'll tell you that. It's a very good building, I think.
How much have you got to raise the garage door?
It's literally about 6 inches.
You just barely got that because there's not but about...
When we were over there, the interior wall is wood, it's framed with wood. So it's just some metal work right there. There's enough space there to get us the height that we need. The trouble bit's the antennas though.
When you pulled out on the main road, did your ambulance bottom out?
No, we took an ambulance, after I spoke with you, we took an ambulance over there and we can get out either exit as is.
Yeah. But if you go out the main exit also, you're going to have to stop at an incline, and not only that, you're not going to be best to come out the other side and then
they're off the side road. The access will be better because it's a street.
You can make it
better vision.
You can make it a more gradual slope rather than that steep slope.
Absolutely.
I just wanted to know that, yeah, it's 3.8 miles, and that's an awful lot of money for that.
But it's 2 school zones. So Tim, that thing built up the code good, ain't it? I mean, really build up the code. I know when I was over there when they built it, I know he spent a lot more money on it. He meant to bring the back of wall between when you go in the yard and the building and all that.
I've had several people tell me that he spent about twice what he intended to do because of the code requirements.
I think, I was asked to look at it, and I looked at it, and the lot is huge. So you got room, you could actually build another building farther out there maybe, if you wanted to, or something. So there's pretty good potential. And if you hadn't looked for commercial property lately, I ain't got nothing to do with it, but I'm just saying there's not a lot out there, so. If that's what you're trying to do, that'll work good. So.
We've been looking for over a year for a place, and this is the first real option we've had.
Mr. Chairman.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the location. I think it's good. It just seems like we're buying something, and obviously we're thinking that it's only going to take just a little bit, but we're basically just saying whatever it takes and whatever we run into, we're going to go forward with it, right?
I mean,
we're up to $700,000.
But that's the way most all of our budgets are set up. We have an estimate of what any cost will be, whether it's our HVAC system or roads. And Tim and Commissioner Moore looked at that. So, I mean, if you want to say, can you get it down to the nearest $100 or $1,000? It's not going to.
I'm not asking for that. All I'm saying is we don't have any estimates before us on what it takes to bring it up to a nice ambulance station.
Well, if I could, no, that's supposed to be done on nothing, but by looking at it, you could probably get into it. Me and Mr. Bell could probably go over there with a hammer and nails and probably 2 hours raise the roof. Because it's the way it's built. Out of 2x4s, all you got to do is cut it off and raise it up. We'll have to put a garage door on it. Because the garage door is too short. Rather than that, you can be in business and
So I'd like to amend the resolution to just say not to exceed $200,000. And I think that gives us
well, the purchase price is, we've already know
purchase
what
price.
purchase price
So
is.
it gives them 10,000, is that reasonable?
Is that with the remodeling costs?
Well, what I'm hearing is we're not gonna have to do much.
Is that something different than the purchase price, that would come out of a different fund, or?
No, it's all out of the same, resolution.
It's just amending it, allowing us to pay $200,000 for it.
Get into it.
Actually, the resolution that you would have to amend would be your previous appropriations resolution. You've already appropriated the money, it's just the state statute says that only county commission can choose the location for a county government facility. So this resolution is either pass or fail.
And we're not money in this, right?
No, there's no money in this technically.
Okay. Anybody got anything further? Any questions?
Go road.
Take a look at it? Okay. Let's call roll now.
Bell,
Aye.
Barry,
Yes.
Rushiers,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
East, Ellis,
Yes.
Gann,
Yes.
Esther,
Yes.
Ferguson,
Yes.
Hooks,
Yes.
Meadows,
Yes.
Moore,
Yes?
White.
Yes.
13 yes.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to adjourn if that's all it is.
Just a second, I've got a, I've got an
Ad hoc committee.
ad hoc committee I'd like to appoint, well, before we get to it. Sorry, y'all will have to forgive me today. I'm not myself today. I don't know what's wrong with me, but hopefully I'll find out tomorrow. But I've got personal issues or whatever, so I ain't the sharpest knife in the drawer today, so forgive me for that. Okay, this ad hoc committee is going to be the ARP. You've heard Mr. Woody talk about earlier committee, and that ARP committee will be for Hester, Barry, Ferguson, Bell, and Miss Starr. And if I could really think of your last name.
Cunningham.
I know what I just think.
That's okay, Miss Sharp, it's fine.
So that is my.
I move with office, Chairman.
Pardon?
Move with office.
Motion made and seconded. Call roll.
Okay. Bell.
Aye.
Barry. Rushiers.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
East. Ellis.
Yes.
Gann.
Yes.
Esther.
Yes.
Ferguson. Hooks. Meadows.
Yes.
Moore.
Yes.
And White.
Yes.
13 yes.
If I could say again, thank y'all for putting up with me today, because this has been a tough day for me, not just this, but so hopefully I can get some help done for the next 2 or 3 days and be back 100%. So thank you for dealing with me. I don't know why you wanted me to do this, but thank you very much anyway. Randy, thank you for all the help you've given me, and I expect you to do some more, okay? So, anybody have anything else further to comment on?
Go back to my motion to adjourn.
I see that. Second.
Get that down.